Hey everyone, it's Max. Welcome back for another Vinyasa flow. Today is the Find Your Purpose flow. So join me by finding a seat on the mat. We'll be here for just a moment to get settled in before we get started moving around. So get a comfortable seat, nice long spine. Maybe finding some length in the back of the neck, lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. If it feels good for you, you can close down the eyes. Just starting to let go of anything that's on your mind outside of this practice. Letting go of your to-do list so we can hang out here together in the present moment for the next half hour or so. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths. So exhale everything out. Inhale, filling all the way up through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Again, inhaling, filling all the way up through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Another big inhale, filling all the way up. Sip in a little extra at the top. Open the mouth, sigh it out. You can seal the lips. Continue breathing in and out through the nose for the rest of our class. Let's take a moment to set our intention for this practice today. When you've got your intention, you can feel free to blink open the eyes if you'd like to. And let's rise up to standing. So we'll start in our mountain pose today. If it feels good for you, you can stand at the top of the mat. I'm just going to stand facing the camera here. So we're in our mountain pose. Maybe lift your toes up, spread the toes, set them back down. Lengthening the spine, maybe opening the palms forward. And we'll first shift our weight into our left foot, finding that stability, and then bending the right leg, lifting the right leg. So starting out immediately with a little bit of balance, and let's start rolling out that right ankle. So you're continuing to breathe your slow breaths in and out through the nose, finding your balance as you rotate through your right ankle, and then switching directions. So just loosening up the ankles, which don't always get a lot of love. And now let's do some hip circles here. So again, we're staying balanced on this leg. You can use a wall or a chair or something nearby if you need help with your balance. As you breathe, lifting on your inhale, lifting that leg out to the right and finding some large, slow hip circles, engaging the core. So we're working our balance. We're opening up the hip. Continuing to breathe. We're keeping that core strength. And then switch directions with the circle. You can bring hands to heart center if that feels good to you. And then we'll pause back in our balancing pose, very slowly stepping the right foot down, maybe shaking out the legs a little bit. Let's again find our mountain pose, nice and strong. And then shifting the weight into the right leg, lift the left leg. Again, catch your balance, engage the core. Hands can come to heart center. And let's rotate out the left ankle. And switch directions. All right, we'll release the ankle rolls, pause for a second, lift the knee a little bit higher, And then as you exhale, coming out, bringing that knee out to the left. Finding those hip rotations. Keeping your balance. Keeping your concentration. Can help to just pick one point to look at. Switch directions of the circle. Let's meet back in the middle. So release the hip circles. And then very slowly releasing the foot back down to the mat. Let's squat down and find our yoga squat, Malasana. So once you've found your version of the squat, it's okay to lift up the heels. You can put something under the heels, or if you can't come down all the way, that's totally fine. You don't need to come down as far as I am. Just find your version of Malasana, your yoga squat. Wherever you are, see if you can lift your spine upwards. See how I'm growing up here. Lengthen the back of the neck, lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And we'll maybe find some movement here. You can sway side to side. Continue with your slow, steady breathing. You can move one knee and then the other. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Option to bring one palm down to the mat and open up the other arm. Many variations for you here, so find what feels good. But this deep squat position is really good. Fundamental position. So we'll hold here for just a little bit. And so this is the find your purpose flow. So I wanted to talk a little bit about finding your purpose while I have you here in this squat. So a lot of people think of finding your purpose as what are you going to do with your life? And I think that that's obviously important, but when you think of it in that way, your purpose is something external to you. It's something out there, something out in the world. And I like to think of purpose as a state of being. So what state of being is your purpose? Is it love, patience, gratitude? Whatever it is for you. And what I love about this is that you can access your purpose in any moment. You can access it right now. You can tap into that state of being. You can tap into it at every moment. Let's release our Malasana and come into our tabletop position. So fingers are spread nice and wide. Palms are flat on the mat. And we'll do some cat-cows, continuing our warm-up. Inhaling, arching the back, looking up. And as you exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale to arch and look up. Exhale to round. Flow through a few more on your own. Syncing your movement with your breath. Seeing if you can tap into your state of being. Maybe asking yourself, what's the highest state of being for you? Can you call that in? What would that look like? What would that feel like? Find some organic movement, just loosening up your spine. And then we'll come back to our neutral tabletop. Engage the core. Inhale to lift the right leg up behind you. Toes are pointed straight down. Find your balance. Engage the core, and when you're ready, left arm can lift up. So we're not kicking the leg too high and causing strain in our lower back, just finding a nice neutral spine with the core engaged in this bird dog position. On your next inhale, reach a little bit further. And as you exhale, bring it in, knee to elbow or knee to nose. Inhale to reach. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach. Continue to breathe. We're going to stay here for just a moment. Warming up the spine, getting that engagement. And on your next exhale, slowly release the hand and knee. You can wiggle it out a little bit if you need to, reset your spine. And then on your next inhale, left leg lifts up. Again, not too high, not too low, finding that neutral spine, really pushing the floor away with your upper body. Engage the core, and on your next inhale, lifting the right arm. So continue breathing here as we start to warm up. And then on your next inhale, reaching the arm and the leg, and as you exhale, crunching it in. Inhale to reach, exhale to crunch. Inhale to reach, exhale, crunch. Once more, inhale, reach, exhale, crunch. Reach, clean up the posture a little bit, engage the core, continue breathing. And as you exhale, you can gently release back into our tabletop position. From tabletop, let's go ahead and walk the feet out and find our plank pose. So engaging the core, pushing the floor away, rounding a little bit in the upper back to really push the floor away, lifting the belly button towards the spine, continuing to breathe. Let's lower down onto the left elbow and then the right elbow, keeping this elbow plank. Continuing to breathe here. You can bring your hands to prayer or flat on the mat, whatever feels better for you. So we talked about the purpose as a state of being. See if you can tap into that now that you're being challenged a little bit. So you're being put in this challenging situation. Can you maintain that higher state of being, that higher purpose? Let's keep the left elbow down. Come up onto the right palm, and then the left palm back into our plank. And on an exhale, pushing back into our down dog. So find your version of the down dog. Palms flat on the mat. Index fingers pointing straight forward. Fingers spread wide. You can keep a nice bend in the knees for now. Lifting the hips. Pushing your chest back towards your thighs. And let's go ahead and walk the dog. So bending one leg and straightening the other. Just walking it out a little bit. All right, on your next inhale, bend your knees, come onto your toes, and as you exhale, stepping it forward to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift halfway, find a flat back, and exhale to fold. From here, you can grab hold of opposite elbows, finding your ragdoll position. You can sway side to side. You can shake your head no, maybe nod the head yes. Letting go of any tension in the neck, in the jaw, in the face. Let's release the hands back down. This time, clasp your hands behind your lower back. See if you can get your palms together. If not, that's okay. Straighten the arms, lifting the arms up overhead. A nice shoulder stretch. So find this version for you. Yeah, and if your shoulders don't work this way or something's preventing you from getting here, No worries. It's about your intention. It's about your breath. It's about your purpose. So practice your practice in your way. On your next exhale, release the hands back down towards the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rising up, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a moment to recall our intention, to again call in our highest state of being. This is a practice, continuously calling this in the moments in between, during the tough times. All right, we'll do a few sun salutations here, just a couple. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, stepping back into your upper push-up position. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, lowering down into your chaturanga push-up. Inhale, finding cobra or up dog. And as you exhale, coming into your down dog. Option to walk the dog again, or you can just find stillness here. We'll just be here for a couple rounds of breath. On your inhale, bend your knees, come high into your toes, and as you exhale, stepping towards the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more sun salutation. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back into your high plank. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Nice. Let's take 2 more cleansing breaths. So sigh everything out. Inhale, filling all the way up through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Once more, big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. On your inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reaching up, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your right foot. Let's lift the left leg again. So back into our one leg balance. We'll pause for a moment here. And then as slow as you can, see if you can slow motion shift your weight, coming almost through warrior 3 into very slowly stepping the balls of the left foot down onto the mat. Inhale, arms come up, find your high lunge. Let's pull the right hip back and the left hip forward so our hips are squared to the top of the mat. And let's lower that left knee a little bit more so we're at this hovering high lunge. Breathing here. On your next inhale, opening the arms nice and wide, open your heart, maybe lift the gaze. And as you exhale, coming back to the high lunge, arms reaching high. Inhale. And as you exhale, hands come to heart center. And let's take the left elbow outside of the right knee. Straighten your left leg. So we're in a twisted lunge now. See if you can find a little bit of cobra in your upper back. So a little bit of a back bend in the upper back as your sternum reaches towards your thumbs and your thumbs press in towards your sternum. Breathing here through the nose. On your next inhale, cartwheel the arms up, find your warrior two. Let's clasp the hands behind the back. Inhale to lift the chest, open the heart. Exhale, diving it forward, finding your humble warrior. So right shoulder comes inside your right knee. You can let your head just dangle, and you're lifting your arms up. Your hands are lifting up towards the ceiling. Breathing here. So humble warrior is a great position to go inward, to tap in yet again with that state of being. On your next inhale, lifting the chest, opening the heart, and as you exhale, you can release the hands. Turn towards the side of your mat, so legs are nice and wide. I'm going to turn around. You can stay where you are. I'm going to turn towards the camera. So we're in this wide-legged stance. Point the toes in opposite directions, and we'll find our goddess squat. So goddess position. So you can bring the hands to heart center. Toes are pointing out in opposite direction. See if you can squeeze your heels together as if you're trying to scrunch up the mat between your feet. That should light up the inner line of the legs. And let's squat just a little bit lower. You can sway side to side here. And something that feels really good for me, let's bring our hands to the knees. Inhale, straighten the back, lifting the chest. As you exhale, right shoulder comes towards the left knee. Inhale to rise, exhale, left shoulder to right knee. Inhale to rise up, and once more, right shoulder, left knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, left shoulder to right knee. Rising up, let's find our goddess position again. Squat a little bit lower. Squeeze the heels together. And as you exhale, you can release, stepping back to the top of the mat. All right, and from here, we'll shift the weight into the left foot, lifting the right knee, finding our balance once again. Breathing, slowing the heart rate down. Nice, slow breaths. You can bring your hands to heart center, and we'll very slowly, slow motion transition through warrior three. And then very slowly, slow motion stepping onto the ball of the right foot at the back of the mat. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, lower that back knee to a hover. So we're in our hovering high lunge. Pull the left hip back, the right hip forward, so the hips are nice and square. Arms are reaching up, but the shoulders are down, away from the ears. And the core is engaged. Breathing. Finding your strength. On your inhale, open the arms wide, open your heart, lift the gaze. And as you exhale, coming back to that hovering high lunge. You can bring your hands to heart center, inhaling. And as you exhale, right elbow goes to the outside of the left knee, straightening the back leg. Again, looking for that little bit of a cobra bend in the upper back in our twisted lunge position. The thumbs connected to the sternum. Breathing, finding your balance. On your next inhale, cartwheel the arms up, finding your warrior two. Sink a little lower in your warrior two. And let's clasp the hands behind the back, maybe finding the opposite clasp. Inhale to lift the chest, open the heart. Exhale to dive it forward. Left shoulder comes inside the left knee, finding humble warrior. Again, letting the head dangle and taking a few cycles of breath to go inward here. On your next inhale, coming up, lifting the chest, opening the heart, and exhale to release. Let's turn our feet again. So we're in this wide-legged position. We'll find our goddess squat, so toes point out away from each other, and we're back into our goddess position. Let's bring the hands to heart center this time. Again, squeezing the heels together to get this engagement in the inner line of the legs and into the groin. Engaging the core. Let's sit a little bit deeper. As you inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands to heart center, squat a little lower. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands to heart center, squat a little bit lower. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's hang out here for a breath or two. Inhale, arms come up. You can straighten the legs. And let's come out of our goddess squat, stepping back to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back into our high plank. Let's pause here. As you inhale, maybe shift a little bit forward. And we'll, again, get a little bit of core work in our high plank. See if you can slow the breath down. Keep the left palm where it is. Let's come onto the right elbow and then onto the left elbow. Elbow plank. Let's shift forward and back. So as you inhale, shifting forward. As you exhale, shift back. Forward. Back. Forward and back. Pause in your plank again, elbow plank. And then we'll dip the right hip down to the mat to center, left hip, center. Dip the right hip, center, dip the left. Once more on each side, right hip, center, left hip, center, and then lower all the way down onto the belly. Good job. Let's bring the palms flat on the mat, right under the shoulders. Inhale to find a cobra. Lift using your back strength. And exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This time as you inhale, lift, look over the right shoulder and lower. Inhale, look over the left shoulder, lower. This time let's bring the feet together. Inhale, lifting the upper body, lifting the lower body. So lift those feet, find a long back of the neck, lift the arms, maybe thinking about squeezing your elbows together behind your back. Getting that engagement in the back side of the body. So squeezing your glutes, lifting everything up, squeezing the elbows together, squeezing the shoulder blades together. but continuing to breathe nice and slow and steady through your nose. And as you exhale, you can release. Let's push up onto the knees. And then find a seated position. Let's take the left leg nice and long. Right leg is bent. Let's cross that right leg over. As you inhale, find length in your spine, lifting your left arm up. And then you can either hug the left knee or you can bring the left elbow outside of the left knee to find your twist. So finding length in the spine on the inhales, twisting a little deeper on the exhales. Maybe gazing over the right shoulder. On your next inhale, come back to center and we'll switch sides. Right leg goes long. Left leg crosses over. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, find your variation of this seated twist. Maybe gazing over the left shoulder. Slowing the breath down. On your inhale, coming back to center, we'll uncross the legs, slowly lowering down onto the back. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee and find our figure four pose. So reaching through, grabbing hold of the left leg somewhere. Flex the right foot so the right toes point back towards the right knee. And then gently pull your shin and ankle down towards your chest. You can release your head and shoulders back towards the mat. Breathing here. Noticing any sensation in your right outer hip. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release, and we'll cross the left leg over. And find figure four on this side. So again, same thing, flexing the toes of the left foot. Gently pulling your left shin and ankle down towards your chest. Noticing the sensation in your outer left hip. Maybe noticing if there's a difference from one side to the other. My left hip is a bit more restricted than my right hip. And you may experience something similar, and that's totally okay. All right, as you exhale, gently release. Let's rock up to a comfortable seated position. So whatever position is going to be most comfortable for you to sit for a couple minutes. I like to sit on my knees in hero's pose, but you can sit cross-legged or on a block or whatever you'd like. So take a moment to get settled, finding that seated position. However you choose to sit, see if you can lengthen the spine, lifting the crown of the head, finding length in the back of the neck. Maybe just slightly tucking the chin. You can close down the eyes here. You can release control of your breath now, and we'll find some stillness. Recall your intention from the beginning of class, and maybe a state of being or a word popped into your head when I asked, what does that highest state look like for you? So your purpose is a state of being. your life's work. That's what you do in this world. That's something a bit different. That's important as well. But ultimately, your purpose is a state that you can access at any time. So what does that mean for you in this moment? What does it mean? What does it look like? What does it feel like to embody this state? Can you radiate love, kindness, patience, positivity, gratitude, or any other word that resonates with you, any other state of being that you feel resonates with you at your core? I'm going to leave you here. I invite you to stay in your seated meditation for a few minutes or as long as you'd like to. Really soaking in the flavor of the state of being that you've called into your mind. May we open to awareness for the benefit of all beings. Thank you so much, friends, for practicing with me today. I really appreciate you. Hope to see you next time.